And right here we are. Thank you for tuning in to Lady J. Right here on Twitch. There we go. Yes, thank you. This is your host, Brandy J. And we are here right on Quick Topics Network. And let's go ahead and get right into it. I hope you guys are having a great evening, whatever that may mean. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But the sincerity is there. Today is Friday. And may I be the first to say that last month went by so fast. I know you guys feel it. Let's share a tidbit, a little education for a huge nation. Did you guys know that in Ethiopia, that it's a whole different year? Might I say 214? You do the homework. You figure it out. It has a lot to do with the calendars we use, like the Gregorian calendar and on and on and on, but things that you would not have learned in history. When you read, it is fundamental. You shouldn't have just stopped at school, because that was indoctrination right here in the USA. Either way it goes, if you feel like you got the best education, well, look around. How are things turning out? What's the outcome? I'm just saying, when do we stop educating ourselves, gaining wisdom and knowledge? People like to just stop in their tracks where they're at and assume that they've got that shit all together. But we don't have shit together because we are still in the midst of trying to get it together. No need to lie to ourselves and to pretend to be uber successful and well off. There's no one to impress. There's nothing to impress with. And besides, if you have family and some youth and some children, yeah, it's a little late to be in the denial train, okay? We need to make sure that we're not blowing smoke up anybody's butt and that we are really, really trying to make change. And I'm not talking about the change in your pocket. Some people are not willing and scared to dive in, right? Or to really hit it where it matters. What about our youth? Today, the color of bull crap. What do I mean by the color of bull crap? Well, know this. Let's get it together. If it's not beneficial and it's not moving forward, then let's knock it off. We can talk without throwing in politics and all that stuff. You weren't born with it and you can't take it with you. Let's just stick to the human basics, okay? We do not have to always put politics in it, because really, is it doing anything for you? Next. All right. So, how you guys doing today? How you guys really doing today? Let's go ahead and give some love and some kindness out. And if you can't do that because you hold hate in your heart for certain people, races, genders, whatever you want to call it, then you must know that that is you and your baggage. And taking it out on other people, it's going to come back and get you in that ass. Because the universe has a very great way. The Creator has a very keen way. Because He gave us some rules and instructions. Yes, that's great and all. If you were able to be manipulated into thinking that there is no such thing as God and there's no such thing as the devil. Sad to say, look around. And if you better hope there is one, if this is what it is without one. I mean, come on. Sheesh, human beings really, really trip me out. We really are the demise to our own issues. I mean, prove it that we're not. Because you can't. You'll probably give me a load of crap, but with no receipts and no actual, anything. Some people just regurgitate what the other person said and didn't even look into it their damn self. So what else are you doing with your time? Because all I know is this world is full of knowledge. And if we tell our kids to do the best and go get their education, then why aren't you still taking in knowledge? And what is education to you? You can't go around saying things like, must get your education. The f does that even mean? That can be anything. Education on what? how to shoot something, how to cook something. That can mean anything. You got to be more specific. And then you got to be realistic. Is that shit even working? Do we need a new one? Do we need to... I mean, say something. You put in this world. You pay things. You pay taxes. Say something. For goodness sakes. I've seen people go ham over material items versus their own freaking livelihood. I'm not even sitting here being silly at all whatsoever. The stuff that we're up against right now and how many people just, I don't want to talk about that. I don't talk about that. So immature or just scary as hell. I don't know, or in denial. But have an uproar over just the most dumbest crap. But when it comes to actual human lives, your very lives, and how it's going to be constructed in this world, nothing. So miss me with the BS. But this is all just disheartening. And that's why I named this Color BS, because it's all BS. Can't go around blaming people and things are set up the way they are. People have their purpose and their roles, and sometimes we'll just never know. And when people try to act like they know, it's like, wear some humility, okay? You don't know. The possibilities are there. But if you're not putting in the work, let's stop pulling shit out of your ass and selling it to people and wasting people's times. When you're farther from the truth, because to tell you the truth, a lot of people don't even know how to be biased or can't even really give us the best of them without their ego being in the way. The ego will screw you heinously, like rough and raw, because people don't want to be vulnerable for whatever reason. They fear somebody's gonna, understandable. People have been hurt, scarred, yada yada. But most of the time, those very people have a whole lot of shit to say about everybody else and their shit. All I'm saying is, when are we just gonna be decent and nice, and then no room for the negative Debbie Downers either? Please. The other day I was having a conversation and I was like, yeah, I'm disappointed, and my hope and faith in humanity and individuals and people just kind of, yeah, it is. But I'm still holding on to that mustard seed. Yes, I am. I'm still holding on. Yes. I don't know. Feel free to use the features there, messages and texts and all that stuff, and let us know what you think. What do you feel about the BS that goes on? I'm going to say one more thing. I'm going to hit the nail on the head right here. The back and forth with the whole racism thing is really just old, basic. And if you can't talk about it as an adult, you can't even get real with yourself, or you're one of these people right here, keep talking about it, then it just keeps going. It won't stop. That's the reason why, because you got to stop talking about it. If that ain't the stupidest crap I ever heard in my life, yes. If I need to repeat it, I will. It is. That's not how you fix something, by not talking about it. That's the issue. Don't we always talk about communication when it comes to relationships? So let's knock it off. It's just that we have a lot of cowards that want to be one way, but don't want to talk about it at all whatsoever. Stop disregarding and even the very people within that community, other people's traumas. And when we see these very things going on today, you have to be half stupid, or all the way. I used it again, didn't I? To say that these things do not exist. Okay? See it every day, all the time, within our system, justice system, and everything. So, blatantly, you might as well, people that feel the way, just say, I just don't give a shit about other people. You know what I mean? Crap. So, let me bring something up real quick. So there was this video, right? And I was on an app called Stereo, right? And there was this topic. I think they got the video off of Facebook. Then it was on World Star, but I think originally the guy posted it on Facebook. He was a white male, and then he went on to say he had this white guilt thing going on. It was so perverse. It was so twisted, right? And then some people were like, okay, go check it out and see if you really believe he has guilt. And there was like one black guy that truly believed this. And after I go and see it, I'm like, dude, first of all, the dude just started off talking about Wakanda and sick of saying these just underlying, taking these digs, spoke about something in a raunchy way, and then started saying, "Darky, I don't know how to feel about you, darkies." And then he talked about these fantasies he was having and dreaming of getting black people slaves on ships, and you know what I mean. And he doesn't know why he's having these. But as he has this smirk and keep looking off to the left, you have to be one fool to believe that this fool had any type of guilt. Because let me tell you something. First of all, we like to choose words or the way somebody feels or something and use the most weirdest way to describe it, like guilt. Can we find something? I mean, that alone right there shows you that we can't the best we got. But okay, let's roll with it for now. Let's just say that was the case. I'm going to tell you right now. Anybody that truly felt a way, feeling bad about having these feelings or used to have them or whatever they're feeling guilty or ashamed about, anybody self-respected person in their right mind would have never gone out their way to say those things that he said to offend even more so, right? I mean, what are people thinking? But the whole thing of it was this guy was really back. He was like, this guy's a satire. Which one is it? And if it's satire, nobody has to think it's funny. Some people are dying because of stuff like this. I'm so sick of people taking their thoughts and opinions and trying to cloud it on everybody and make it okay when people feel a way about something. But don't be the first one when you're offended to feel a certain way. Because God forbid. Try having some understanding, some empathy or something, for God's sakes. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's the problem. Nobody wants to face that. Or is that the problem? Well, that should show you should do better. Treat people better. But everybody's got an excuse for why we can't treat people better. I don't know, but I wonder if you're going to have those same damn excuses on the day you meet your Creator. It's going to be a different kind of story, huh? Some people probably think they were big and bad then too. You just can't make this type of shit up. You know? You just really can't. But so that was the context in that. This guy, it was even more so. I'm pretty sure if you find it, look it up on Facebook, World Star or something, and you can probably type in guilt, white guilt. I don't know. I don't even know the guy's name because the whole scenario was just this guy really just couldn't save his ass if he tried to, just making excuses for, and he was a black guy, why this was okay. And then when he couldn't win that, he was like, well, I don't see why it's bothering anybody anyway. Man, oh man, it's like that mentality, I tell you. It's baffling, I say. It's baffling. It just shows that we, people in general, we all have some mental stuff going on here. In our belief and our thoughts and just everything that people have been exposed to that is going through. That's why we as human beings should be a little bit more tolerant and have some empathy for one another. Because some people don't even realize the trauma or the stress, the traumatic stress that they're going through, even these last few years. So what I say to that before I get off of here, be kinder to yourself first of all. Because if you're not kind to yourself, it's going to be really difficult to do it to somebody else. You can't people say I put other people first. Stupid. Don't do that. You got to take care of your mental. You got to make sure you're well put together for somebody else. It's not some great, awesome deed, okay? There's limits to things. But be kind to yourself. And acknowledge that we've all dealt with some stuff and we've been exposed to these last few years of crazy chaos and mayhem. You can be in denial all you want to, but good luck with that. But for the majority, let's remember that. Allow yourself to process this stuff and ask yourself, are you okay? Because it's okay to do that. Because for some people, they got all these thoughts and ideas and yada, yada, yada. And as soon as you start promoting anything positive, they want to tear that down too. Stay away from those people. Hang with consistency. Peace out, guys. Till next time. Your host, Brandy J.